So Pamela likes to ride her bike inside attached to a trainer, especially in the winter. And she had this great idea to attach a table to the bike so that she could work while she rode, work on the computer, read a book, watch a video, whatever. So I sat down and tried to think of ways to attach a table to the bike, and I think I came up with a pretty good idea. So what I'll do is I'll pull this table off the bike, I'll show you how I made it, and then I'll show you how it attaches to the bike. Here's the table off the bike, just a piece of hardwood that's been cut, sanded, stained, and finished. On the bottom I've put this other little extra piece of wood along the whole edge so that objects can sit on the table and not fall off the bottom. Going to turn this over now so you can see the back side. Okay, here's the underside of the table. I have this piece of 3/4 inch PVC pipe. That's 3/4 inch inside diameter. The outside diameter of the Schedule 40 PVC matches up very closely to the diameter of the handlebars on the bike. Some handlebars on bikes are different diameter, so you'll want to measure and get the proper size PVC. So the PVC pipe is attached to the underside of the table with a 3/4 inch pipe hanger, and that is threaded onto this pipe hanger base with some 3/8 inch, I don't even know what it's called, just like a threaded bolt without the head. You can just buy just the rod, or you can just take a bolt, cut off the head. It's screwed on, and then it's also epoxied on with some JB Weld to hold it nice and tight. And then the base is screwed onto this wooden block, which is glued to the underside of the table, and that gives us a little bit of working room here, which we'll need when we go to attach this onto the bike. On the front of the table, which is kind of the top facing away from the rider, I have another hanger and base plate and wooden block, and this one, it will hold the handlebars from the bike onto the table so that you don't really need to disconnect all the brake cables and whatnot. You can just keep the old handlebars nice and close. It makes things a lot easier when you're switching from the table to the actual handlebars. Open this up. I just have some, I think it's called rubber tape. It's used to insulate windows, and put that onto these surfaces so that you don't scratch up your handlebars. This is a 3/4 inch hanger. 1/2 inch probably would have been better. It's a little big, so I had to double up on the insulation, but it still works pretty well. And you'd put the handlebars in here and tighten it up, and I'll show you that here in a second. So the table actually sits in place of the handlebars. So to put the table on, we first need to undo the two bolts on the front here and remove the handlebars. So now the bolts are loosened. You can take this front part off and just drop the handlebars down out of the way for a second. Okay, now I'm going to put the PVC into the old handlebar holder there, and put that faceplate back on, and tighten up those bolts again. Now the old handlebars go into this hanger up front. And they now sit out of the way. So looking underneath the table, we see the PVC going into the handlebar holder here on the bike. The old handlebars are just sitting right up in front. Didn't have to disconnect any cables or anything. It's an easy switch back if you wanted to ride this outside. So that's the bike desk. I think it turned out pretty well. If you make one of these, I'd love to see a photo or a video response. Thanks a lot for watching. If you liked the video, you could give it a thumbs up, or you can subscribe to see my newest videos.